Welcome to the Psych Ignition. Some of the strongest people in the world don't wear armor for everyone to see. They wear silence. Many Sigma males don't realize their own power. They often feel like they're on the outside, too intense, too honest, too different. But here is the truth. They are not a mistake. They are not too much. They are exactly what this world needs. They were built to carry heavy weights others don't even notice. They can walk alone on paths where others need a crowd. They speak truth when it would be easier to stay silent. A Sigma male doesn't chase after approval. He doesn't need applause. He isn't built for shallow games or fake friendships. What he brings to the world, deep thought, quiet strength, and unwavering honesty, isn't common. It's rare. It's special. And it's time he saw it for what it truly is. He isn't just surviving in a noisy world. He is protecting a light in a place that has grown dim. That is what angels do. They aren't perfect. They are strong. They get back up. And they have a quiet power inside. He may not have wings, but he has a presence. And that presence, it calms, it heals, it changes the energy of a room just by him walking in. This isn't just pretty poetry. This is a wake-up call. He is not less because he feels more. He is not weak because he walks alone. He has chosen to hold the line, to carry grace, and to fight darkness without losing his soul. He must accept it, own it. He is not just a Sigma male. He is an angel in disguise. Let's get started. Number 1. Because they carry grace like a weapon. A Sigma male doesn't go around trying to prove how powerful he is. He doesn't bark, boast, or brag. But if you push him too far, if you lie, betray, or try to hurt him, you will realize how much he usually lets slide. This isn't because he didn't notice. It's because he was showing you grace. And not a weak grace, but a grace backed by immense self-control. He could dismantle you with facts, with truth, with cold, hard evidence. But he won't. He isn't driven by ego. He is driven by purpose. The Sigma understands the power of letting someone think they've won. He understands the sharp weight of silence. He knows that sometimes the most powerful move is not to fight, but to walk away, completely untouched. People often mistake his silence for weakness. This is a big mistake. What they don't see is that behind that silence is a mind that has already solved the puzzle, seen behind the mask, and predicted the next 10 moves. But instead of causing chaos, the Sigma male chooses mercy. Not because you deserve it, but because he does. His soul is too clean to play dirty. His grace is terrifying. It is calm, calculated, and final. When he chooses to forgive or ignore your chaos, it is not surrender. It is strategy. It is a high-level choice to not waste his energy on what is beneath him. And when he walks away, he leaves nothing behind. No explanation. No second chances. No mess. This is what makes him so unforgettable. His grace isn't passive. It's surgical. It shows everyone who you are without him saying a single word. And later people look back and realize, he could have ruined me. He could have burned it all down. But he didn't. That is power. That is class. This is why a Sigma male's grace is not weakness. It is the deadliest kind of strength. Number 2. Because they choose love even when it's safer to hate. Let's be real. The Sigma male has every reason to lock his heart away. He has felt the sting of betrayal from those he trusted. He has been used by people he helped. He has been ignored by the very ones he stood up for. After that, most people would turn cold. Most would build walls and walk through life with a grudge. But the Sigma male takes a different path. A path that requires incredible strength. He chooses to keep his heart open, even when it has been broken. This isn't because he is naive. He sees everything. He catches the lies, the fake smiles, the hidden games. But instead of matching the darkness, he rises above it. He doesn't love blindly, he loves bravely. And that is a massive difference. He loves with awareness, with caution, with depth. He knows what people are capable of, and he chooses kindness anyway. That kind of love is not weakness, it is controlled power. He has learned to guard his kindness like it is sacred, because it is. He doesn't give it to everyone. But when he does choose to care, it is genuine. It is solid. It is the kind of love that stays quiet during your storm, but never leaves the room. It isn't loud or showy. It is just real. And this doesn't come from an easy life. It comes from surviving things that would have broken most people. It is built from pain that forced him to make a choice, either become like those who hurt him or become something better. He chose better. That is angelic. So when a Sigma male shows love, don't mistake it for something casual. It is not a habit. It is a choice he makes again and again, despite every reason not to. And that is what makes him different. That is what makes him powerful. Because in a world where hate is easy and love is rare, Sigma males carry love like a weapon, and they wield it with precision. Number 3. Because their refusal to be worshipped is what makes them sacred. Here is a fascinating puzzle about the Sigma male. People can't help but watch him, drawn by an invisible force. Yet the Sigma wants nothing to do with the spotlight. He doesn't crave attention. He certainly doesn't want to be put on a pedestal. Compliments make him shift uncomfortably. Obsession makes him cautious. He would rather be misunderstood than idolized. And, ironically, this is exactly why people feel so pulled toward him. He moves through the world with a quiet confidence. No showing off, no big ego, just a calm clarity. He thinks deeply, speaks only when it matters, and every action has a purpose. He doesn't chase approval, and he doesn't need an audience to feel important. But it is this very detachment that makes people lean in closer. The more he pulls away, the more they feel drawn in. Not because he is trying to be mysterious, but because he simply is mysterious. Here is the key insight. The Sigma male sees right through empty flattery. He can spot the moment someone is projecting a fantasy onto him, and he will immediately take a step back. Why? Because he understands that worship is a trap. It turns real connection into a performance. It kills authenticity. And Sigma males do not play roles. They live in truth, always. He doesn't want to be your hero, your guru, or your obsession. He just wants the space to be himself, and it is this very desire that makes him so magnetic. People are so used to personalities that hunger for attention, that when they meet someone who genuinely doesn't care about being admired, it stops them in their tracks. But a Sigma will not stick around to be praised. If he feels you are turning him into a symbol instead of seeing him as a person, he will quietly disappear. He doesn't need admiration to feel whole. He doesn't need validation to know his worth. He simply keeps walking, filled with purpose, peace, and power. This is what makes him sacred, not because he asks to be seen as special, but because he never needs to. True angels don't perform for a crowd. They just are. Number 4. Because they are angels not by being perfect, but by refusing to become devils in a devilish world. Let's be honest. The world doesn't always reward goodness. It whispers about taking shortcuts. It dares you to become cold. It hands you pain and waits to see if you will pass it on to someone else. And yet, the Sigma male does not fold. He has been tempted. He has been tested. He has been pushed to the very edge. But he does not become the very thing that hurt him. This is not weakness. This is inner strength in its rawest, purest form. He is not perfect, far from it. He carries his own flaws, scars, and regrets, just like anyone else. But the difference is, he takes full ownership of his path. He walks in truth even when it costs him. He doesn't need to prove anything to the world because he is too busy staying true to who he really is. He won't sell his soul to fit in. He won't fake a smile just to be accepted. He won't play a game just to win. The world has tried to twist him, to make him cold, to turn him into a mirror of its own chaos. And yes, there were moments he almost gave in, moments he felt like breaking. But instead of becoming cruel, he chose clarity. Instead of becoming bitter, he chose balance. Instead of turning off his heart, he chose to protect it without ever losing it. He walks among the noise, but he doesn't let the noise control his steps. This is rare. This is sacred. Most people either shut down completely or give in entirely. But the Sigma male finds that middle ground. He is strong without being hard. He is kind without being weak. He is real without needing applause. He is an angel not because he is flawless, but because he refuses to betray his soul, no matter how dark the world gets. He doesn't stand above others, acting holier. No, he stands firmly within himself, fully grounded, fully self-owned. And that quiet fire inside him, that is the rarest light of all. The kind that doesn't blind you, but guides you. Number 5. Because their rage is sacred. A Sigma male does not explode over nonsense. You will not see him throw tantrums, clap back for attention, or waste his energy proving a point. He carries a calm silence that feels almost unshakable. But make no mistake, there is a fire inside him. It is just not for show. It is reserved for truth. And when that fire finally rises, it is not chaos. It is correction. You see, most people use anger to lash out, to control, to play the victim. But a Sigma male treats his anger like a sacred tool. He only brings it out when a deep, moral line has been crossed. Not for ego, not for pride, but for justice, for what is right. When he finally speaks up, it is not about winning a fight. It is about burning down the lies, the manipulation, the abuse that has been allowed to stand for too long. He will stay quiet for years if he has to. He will let little things slide. He will forgive, give space, and stay neutral until you cross that one line. And once it is crossed, the shift is immediate. The warmth disappears. The softness vanishes. What steps forward is something different, something fierce, unfiltered, and divinely dangerous. Because his rage is not about payback, it is about purging. It is not emotional chaos, it is focused, principled fury. The kind that exposes everything in its path. He won't scream. He will speak the kind of truth that leaves no room to hide. He will walk away from everything and everyone with a finality that feels biblical. And when he does, it doesn't just shake the room, it changes it. That kind of rage is not a flaw, it is part of his sacred wiring. Angels were not always soft, some carried swords, and Sigma males are those quiet warriors. They do not pick fights, but when they rise, it is not for ego, it is for order. That is what makes their rage different. That is what makes it sacred. Number 6. Because they hold the line when everyone else breaks. When life gets messy. When people panic, systems fail, and everything starts falling apart. There is usually one person who doesn't flinch. One man who doesn't crumble, doesn't scream, doesn't run. That man is the Sigma male. And people feel it. They notice it. Even if they can't explain why, they look toward him as an anchor. Why? Because when everyone else breaks, he holds the line. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room. Quote, about being the calmest. Sigma males don't lead with noise, they lead with presence. A rare, grounded stillness that says, I am not moving, even if everything else is. And that presence, that's not just strength, it's something deeper. It's spiritual. They have trained themselves to stay centered, no matter what. They don't react just because everyone else is panicking. They don't swing with emotion. They observe. They breathe. They respond. And that simple steadiness in the face of chaos makes people gravitate toward them, even the ones who once ignored them. They are the type who can take control without barking orders. They lead by example, not by ego. And when people around them are spiraling, it's the Sigma who grounds them, not with long speeches, but with quiet action, with that unspoken energy that says, you're safe to fall apart, because I won't. Let's be real. Holding the line isn't easy. It costs them, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, but they don't do it for attention. They don't do it for applause. They do it because it's who they are. Because someone has to stay clear-headed when the storm hits. Someone has to carry that sacred weight. And the Sigma male, he carries it without complaint. Because when the world wobbles, he becomes the still point, the unmoved mover, the quiet strength people never forget. That's not just leadership. That's something higher. That's why people trust them. even if they don't say it, because deep down, they know. When the worst happens, the Sigma will still be standing. Number 7, because they're the first to forgive and the last to forget. Most people think forgiveness is about letting someone off the hook. But the Sigma male knows a deeper truth. For him, forgiveness isn't about the other person at all. It's about his own freedom. It's about declaring, I won't let this pain live inside me any longer. He is often the first to forgive. Not because he is soft, but because he refuses to be chained by bitterness. Yet here is the crucial part. Do not confuse his forgiveness with forgetfulness. He may let go of the grudge, but he never, ever forgets the lesson. Every betrayal, every wound, every moment of being used or misunderstood, it all stays with him. Not as a heavy emotional burden, but as armor, as a map for the future. Sigma males don't carry their scars in shame. They wear them like silent medals, proof that they loved deeply, were hurt honestly, and rose above it anyway. You won't see him announcing what he's forgiven. He won't post long messages about how he's moved on. He simply does it, quietly, internally. And then, he shifts. You'll notice it in his tone. In how he no longer chases, no longer explains, no longer stays where he is not respected. That subtle shift is the Sigma male, drawing his boundary and sealing it with a powerful silence. What truly sets him apart is his memory. He remembers everything. The patterns, the energy, the small changes in people's behavior right before the betrayal happened. And he stores that knowledge like fuel, not for revenge, but for his own growth. This is the core of his evolution. Every heartbreak teaches him something deeper. Every disappointment sharpens his vision. This is the beautiful paradox of the Sigma. He can hold compassion in one hand and crystal clarity in the other. He can forgive without being a fool. That is not weakness. That is transcendence. And it is why he moves through the world differently. He isn't flying blind. He is flying with scars that taught him exactly how to see. Number 8. Because they fight demons no one sees. The Sigma male walks through life like a warrior no one claps for. He doesn't wear his pain on his sleeve. You won't find him ranting online, begging for pity, or talking about how hard things have been. But trust this, he has fought battles most people wouldn't survive. Not the kind that leave physical scars. The kind that chip away at your spirit. The kind that creep in when no one is looking, in the quiet of the night. And the most incredible part? He never complains. He processes. He reflects. And he keeps moving. See, the Sigma male doesn't just deal with his own pain. He often carries the pain of others too. He is the one who will sit with you in your mess. He will listen without judgment. He will still treat you with kindness, even when you may not deserve it. He helps fix what is broken in others, while sometimes quietly bleeding on the inside. Not because he is weak, but because he understands pain better than most. He would rather take the hit himself than pass it on to someone else. He absorbs the energy of a room. He picks up on shifts in tone, in body language, in the words left unsaid. He can walk into a room and instantly sense who is hurting, who is pretending, and who is about to break. This deep awareness is a gift, but it is also a heavy weight to carry. It means he holds truths he can't always speak, and emotions he must process alone just to keep others steady. And yet, despite all of this, he still shows up. He still brings calm into chaos. He still offers peace in moments where most people would explode. This isn't just about being nice. This is divine resilience. This is a strength that doesn't need applause. It is the kind of quiet power that makes people feel safe, even if they don't know why. So when we say a Sigma male must accept that he is an angel, it is not flattery, it is fact. Because anyone who chooses to carry light while being surrounded by darkness isn't just strong, he is sacred. Number 9. Because they are punished for being rare. Let's speak a simple truth. Being a Sigma male isn't always a superpower. Sometimes it feels lonely. Sometimes it feels like a heavy weight to carry. Not because there is anything wrong with him, but because the world doesn't know what to do with someone who won't play along. Someone who won't perform. Someone who won't pretend or bend just to be liked. Sigma males are rare. And in a world that often loves trends, noise, and fitting in, being rare is seen as a rebellion. And rebellion gets punished. They are misunderstood all the time. They are labeled as cold, arrogant, or difficult. Not because they are, but because they don't need the crowd. They don't overshare their feelings. They don't put on masks for others. They aren't clapping for themselves or begging for validation. And this quiet self-containment, it unnerves people. It exposes the insecurity in others without him saying a single word. So instead of being appreciated for his depth, he is pushed away. Instead of being respected for his truth, he is resented for not playing the game. His quietness is seen as a threat. His independence is seen as defiance. His ability to walk alone is seen as a challenge to the fragile egos around him. A Sigma male can walk into a room and instantly shift the energy, not by what he says, but simply by who he is. His presence, his stillness, his quiet refusal to be fake. It offends people who have built their entire lives on pleasing others. But here is the most important thing to understand. This punishment he faces is not proof that he is doing something wrong. It is confirmation that he is different in all the right ways. Angels don't blend in. They disturb, they challenge, they force people to look at what is fake and what is fragile. Being sacred in a shallow world comes with a price. But the Sigma male pays it willingly, because he would rather walk alone in his truth than be surrounded by lies and false comfort. That is not weakness. That is power on a level that few will ever understand. Number 10. Because they don't need permission to be whole. Here is a secret of the Sigma male's power. He doesn't wait for an invitation to be complete. He doesn't need to be chosen, validated, or celebrated to stand in his full power. He doesn't need someone to tell him you are enough to feel that he is. This is what truly sets him apart. While others are scrambling for approval, from society, from friends, from status, the Sigma is already grounded in himself. You won't catch him begging to be seen or recognized. He is the man who doesn't need a relationship to feel worthy. He isn't waiting for a promotion to feel powerful. He doesn't need a crowd of followers to know he has influence. His sense of validation isn't borrowed from the outside world, it's homegrown. It comes from within. And this quiet, unshakable confidence, it can intimidate people who still rely on outside noise to feel important. What makes the Sigma male truly rare is that he doesn't ask for permission to exist at his full potential. He doesn't shrink to make others comfortable. He doesn't stretch himself thin just to be accepted. He simply shows up, real, whole, grounded. You can feel it in the way he carries himself, unapologetically steady, as if he has already made peace with exactly who he is. This wholeness, this deep-rooted sense of self, doesn't come from ego. It comes from truth. It is earned through years of self-reflection, through facing rejection, and through the inner work that most people avoid. The Sigma male didn't just wake up one day feeling whole. He built himself piece by piece. He chose himself when no one else did. He doesn't wait for someone to name him valuable. He already knows that he is. And that is why people often feel magnetically drawn to him, without even understanding why. His completeness is a silent beacon in a world of searching souls. Number 11. Because they are masters of meaningful silence. In a world that never stops talking, the Sigma male understands the profound power of silence. He knows that not every thought needs a voice, and not every moment needs to be filled with sound. His silence is not empty, it is deep, it is full of thought, and it is intensely powerful. When others are rushing to fill the air with words, often saying nothing at all, the Sigma is listening, observing, and understanding. His quiet presence can make people feel truly heard for the first time. It can also make those who are insecure feel deeply uncomfortable, because silence has a way of revealing the truth that noise can hide. His silence is a choice. It is a disciplined practice. He uses it to protect his energy, to see clearly, and to speak only when his words will have real impact. When he finally does speak, people listen because they know his words have been weighed and measured. They carry weight. This command of quiet isn't about being shy or withdrawn. It is about being so secure in himself that he doesn't need to constantly prove his existence through sound. In the kingdom of noise, his silence is not a weakness, it is his throne. Number 12. Because they build legacies, not just resumes. The Sigma male is not driven by the applause of the crowd, but by the echo of his impact. He is less concerned with building an impressive resume for the world to see, and more focused on building a meaningful legacy that will stand long after he is gone. He works in the background, often unnoticed. He fixes what is broken, supports those in need, and plants trees whose shade he knows he may never sit under. His achievements are not always posted on social media. They are etched into the lives he has quietly improved. While others chase titles and fame, the Sigma chases purpose and substance. He finds fulfillment in a job well done, in a truth spoken, in a life changed for the better. His legacy is not written in headlines, but in the silent gratitude of those he helped, the strength he inspired, and the truth he upheld. This is the ultimate mark of his angelic nature. He isn't building a monument to himself. He is tending a garden for the future. He knows that a life of value is not measured by how much you are celebrated, but by how much you contribute when no one is watching. So, we have walked this path together. We have seen the Sigma male not as a label, but as a force of nature. A quiet warrior in a loud world. A calm anchor in a raging storm. He is the man who carries grace as a weapon and love as a choice. He is the one who forgives to free himself, but never forgets the lesson. He is the rare soul who is punished for his depth in a shallow world, yet refuses to become shallow himself. He doesn't need permission to be whole, and his silence speaks volumes. His rage is sacred, his presence is healing, and his legacy is built in the hearts of those he touches. Remember this: the world will often misunderstand your quiet strength. It will mistake your solitude for loneliness and your silence for emptiness. Do not be swayed. Your power doesn't come from the noise you make, but from the peace you hold within. Your value isn't determined by the crowd, but by the content of your character. You were never meant to fit in. You were built to stand out. You were built to lead, not by voice, but by example. To heal, not with grand gestures, but with quiet presence. So accept this truth, own it, walk in it. You are not just a man navigating a complex world. You are a protector of light, a carrier of truth, a quiet warrior. You are the Sigma, and the world needs exactly what you are. Now, go forth in your power. If this video gave you value, hit that like button and subscribe. Join this community of men who refuse to be ordinary. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and embrace the Sigma mindset. Thank you for watching.